So I'm just going to talk about LINQ and its uses. So first of all, you use this, you type using system.link to import the library so you can use LINQ. I've got a simple class of fruit, which contains a fruit name, and when I print out, I just add at the beginning fruit name, so that if we want to loop through an array and print out the name of the fruit, it will add in fruit name before the name of the fruit. So we can ignore the fruit class for now because it's quite simple. We make in the main program, we make a new array of fruit, and we give each element in that array a name, a fruit name, and also days till expiry. So we could be running a supermarket, and we need to make sure we separate out all the fruit by what they're called. So we've got apples and we've got pears. So we want to make two separate arrays of apples and pears. But then we also want to order them by their expiry date, or order them alphabetically, or order them by some other variable. So what we can do without LINQ is, we could write a for each command and loop through all the items in food, and we can then print out the name of the fruit and the days till expiry. And if we want to then say, okay, well, let's only print out, we were only talking about apples here, so let's put in an if statement to act as a filter and say, right, if the fruit name contains apple, then we print it out, right? So let's run that, and as you can see here, we've got your fruit, you've got apple, pear, apple. So yeah, apple days to expiry 10, and we've got apple days to expiry 12. So it skipped out the pear. So we've got that, right? But in order to change the order that this array is created, you can use a for loop and create your own array, and then add it in based on the you have to write some pretty intricate commands in order to order that and add it to the array, right? So so what LINQ's good at doing, so if we comment this out now and we focus on this part here, so what we've got here is we have so what LINQ does, what this statement here does, is it creates a collection and stuffs it into, in this point here, we've got food query, right? Well, this should be fruit. And so fruit query, right, will be the resulting collection from this search query. So it will store it in that. So what we're doing by that already is we're creating a new collection. So that part of it's kind of handled. Now this command is handled already. This command here, we've got from f in food. So we say from f in food. So it's the item in question that meets all of the requirements within this statement. So from that, where the fruit name contains apple, and by the way, order it by the days till expiry. So at the moment, because it's it would do 10, 11, 12, right? But it's going to be apple, so it would say, right, add in element 0 first, and then add in element 2, because element 0 is younger, so it's got less days left, so I've got to sell it quicker, right? So order it by days till expiry, and select it, and then that'll be whacked into this query, right? So then if we print out, just a simple print out, because we have a new collection here, fruit query, print it out and write the line you know, the fruit name and the days to expiry. Let's see what we get here. So I'll say what it should do. So it should go through and get the items that are the apples in the array, where the fruit name's apple, and then order it by days to expiry. So it should print out essentially, this should be the first element in the array, and this should be the second element in the array. And we have the first element in the array here, the first line, and then we have the second element here. So that's what it's done, right? So in order to check that, if I change the days till expiry so that element 0 is greater than element 1, in this case we've got an ID of 2, we'll just use that. So if I swap this number to 12 and this number to 10, then it should print out the this fruit first, and then that fruit. We'll know that by the 2 and the 0 switching. So let's close that and say we'll change here to say actually it might just make sense by saying first element. Actually that doesn't, no, it's not going to. Right, so 12 and then 10. So now that should print out, because we're ordering it from days to expiry, we want to know the one that's got the least days left in it. That's going to be at the top of the list. That's important to us, right? So it should come up with 2 apple first. Right, so 2 apple, days left to expiry 10. 0 apples, got days left to expiry of 12. So that is the power of LINQ. Well, a brief summary of it. I'm Charles Burt, and this video is brought to you by hireaunitydeveloper.com.